Hey there everybody, Aaron and Ashley here from Gideon's Tactical. In just a moment, we're gonna jump into the full field test and review for you on the Tops Knives Anaconda 7B. But before we do that, we just wanna give a really quick shout out to two special people that we've had a chance to meet through this channel. You know, this channel has an amazing following and an amazing group of people. It's you guys that make this channel worthwhile, and it's you guys that, you know, make Gideon's Tactical what it is. And we just have an awesome community over here. And so through this channel, we have two awesome people that watch every week. We just wanna give a quick shout out to Derek and Lily Spitzer.
Yes, Lily, we want to thank you so much for our paracord bracelets. They're awesome. We love them. I love my purple paracord bracelet, and thank you so much for taking the time to make it for us.
So again, guys, thank you so much again, Derek and Lily. You guys are awesome. They watch every week. I was talking with Derek, and he says that every week he and his daughter get together and they, you know, watch every episode that we crank out over here at Gideon's Tactical, which is just awesome. So before we got into that full review of the Anaconda that we're going to do today, I just wanted to take this time and just remind you guys, you know, that we're here for you. Ashley and I are here for you guys with any questions. You know, we're going to do the best we can to always get back to you. And ultimately, with this channel is always to help this community that we're building over here, this family over here at Gideon's Tactical, always, you know, to help you guys make the best purchasing decisions, teach you guys how to use your gear properly, and to just have a blast out there in the creation of God, that God has made in this awesome wilderness and this awesome world that God has made for all of us and blessed us with. So with that being said, guys, let's jump into it and let's get to the review on the Tops Knives Anaconda 7B. All right, guys, let me give you a couple of basic specs here on the Anaconda 7B. What we have is a 1095 high carbon steel blade made in the USA, so that's always awesome. Full tang construction with a 1/4 inch thick spine all the way through. So that is a very robust knife that we're gonna be using here today. And it has a saber grind, so that's really nice, with a cutting edge of 7 inches and then an overall length from the handle to the tip of 7.5 inches, weighs in at 20 ounces. So with the micarta handle scales, this thing is a monster and a beast. And today we are definitely gonna thrash on this Anaconda 7B to see what it can do and see how capable this blade really is.
Sticked it into a tree. I mean, it looked like a tree. I took it over to him and I was like, here you go, Bill, start fire.
Nice.
Wow. Pretty good. So,
let's stay here for a second.
always stays dry.
All right, guys, as you're seeing through this video, I mean, I've taken this up literally about a dozen times now, been very impressed with how this blade operates. I just want to talk through that a little bit instead of just showing you the shots of it performing. The 7-inch cutting edge is going to be able to allow you to span really good logs, 3 to 4 inches. And because of the saber grind and the 1/4 inch thickness, It does. It is a batoner for sure. You're going to be able to crack open really dense, thick wood very easily with this knife, and particularly with that simple drop point up here. You know, I mean, you're really able to connect well with your hammer on the blade to split that wood. And then with the chopping is going to do really well too. I've been very impressed with it. Very large, you know, branches and, you know, smaller trees we've been able to clear very, very easily with this knife because of the slight recurve. So if you're connecting right in this general area, I mean, it really does bite in. And with that 20 ounces, I mean, it's heavier than some knives that are, you know, much larger than the 7.5 inches that it offers. So it is a lot of weight crashing down when you are having to do chopping with your knife. So that performs really well. And finally, with the carving, you know, normally a knife that's a 1/4 inch thick, this big, this heavy, the edge wouldn't be the best. You know, the relief edge would be kind of dull a little bit. But the way that Tops has ground this in, very good steep relief edge, gives you the ability to not only slice rope and cut through rope real fast, no drag at all, but also your finer detail work, carving, whittling, all that type of stuff. It really does make for very easy feather stick making. Instead of having a pretty fat, wide grind angle, making it more difficult to do that, you can do it just fine. And I've been very impressed with how this Anaconda 7B has performed, particularly in the blade end here. I mean, it's a survival knife for sure. All right, guys, one other thing I wanted to look at here with this blade before we keep going with this review is these 3 notches right here that are kind of classic to Ron Hood. He did a lot of these in his different knives that he would produce, and they're supposed to do a lot of different things for you. I have tested it out in multiple different ways, and I have not really seen a lot of benefit, to be honest. Now, I've used the Tom Brown tracker that had a full spine of saw teeth, and that worked great for making a 1/4 inch little notch. This does not, because there's not enough of them, and they're flush with the flat spine. They're not raised up at all. So when I try and go and make a notch on multiple different types of wood, it doesn't really do anything for me. It doesn't make a notch like it should. So for notching, it's not going to benefit you like some other sawbacks that Tops produces. It does have a 90-degree angle with these 2 teeth right here are uncoated. So that does throw sparks really well, and I was very impressed with the quality of sparks. So that's always a plus when your knife can throw sparks and not ruin the edge. So that's awesome. You're supposed to be able to hook, you know, like a little handle for a pot that's in a fire, so you don't have to burn yourself, you know, so you can get your pot out of the fire. I don't use pots like that. I'm sure if it was thin enough, you could hook it in there. Some people have said, you know, you can break wire with it. Tried to break some wire, didn't really work for me. I'd rather just have my Leatherman tool. Maybe if you really worked with it, you could get it to break some, you know, pretty nominal wire. Then you could probably use it for some bone breaking of some animals and game if you needed to. But other than that, guys, I just don't really see a lot of utility for these 2 teeth up here. They don't hurt the blade at all. It's a 1/4 inch thick. Tops does a great heat treat. It's not going to break the knife or anything like that, and they don't go in very deep. But there's nothing in this, you know, in these teeth that make me go, oh man, you got to buy this blade. All for me it does is throw some sparks. So guys, that's what these teeth are kind of designed to do, but that's really, in my opinion, all they can do is throw some good sparks for you. All right, guys, let's go ahead and give you the ergonomic rating, kind of talk through the handle here on this Anaconda 7B. Now, it is a full tang knife, which is great. Kind of got those white liners there, you know, just to kind of give it a little bit of a pop. My Carta handle scales, really nice. I have large size gloves, and you can see I got plenty of room to spare. In fact, the machining is really well done on the rounded side. You know, it doesn't feel necessarily blocky, but it's very long in its distance from top to bottom. So with my large size gloves, it's almost too big for me. So medium and small size hands, people who have medium and small size hands, you are not really going to enjoy this knife. I'm just going to tell you that right out of the gate. It is a very large handle. So if you have large or extra large size hands though, you'll love it. So what we have here is an extended pommel. You got a kind of a rounded area here for glass breaking, just normal, not reinforced, but just normal glass if you needed to, or hammering in different tent pegs and different things like that. An extra large lanyard hole so you can run several lines of paracord through there if you so desire with a little bit of a hook. Then we have some jimping with a thumb ramp and another lanyard hole, and you can do kind of this system, or you could just do one lanyard hanging out the back, all sorts of different ways you could do lanyards. And then you got this kind of little hook right here, as well as the finger choil. So for chopping, guys, when you do this type of style with your paracord and just how the handle is designed, this thing is a phenomenal chopper and will stay in your hand without having to reset once. So epic chopper, guys. Really like how it chops. Very, very impressed. Now, when it comes to the carving and whittling though, the finer detail tasks, what you have again is that finger choil, so you can put your finger in there, then you got this nice little groove right there. This hump starts to really get in the way though and really splits my hand quite wide and makes it very awkward with this thumb ramp right here. That's where my thumb would naturally want to go, and then I could do, you know, my more detailed work and it'd probably be okay. But with that, all those things all together, really, if I'm using the finger choil, make it very uncomfortable for me to do carving and whittling. There's really no need for this finger choil. I really wish that the edge had just come all the way to the handle because after about 5 minutes of feather stick making, my hand was really starting to cramp and really starting to get tired and fatigued. So what I ended up doing after a while is just going to a natural hammer grip, get behind that thumb ramp, just put my index finger right there in that groove, and then I was definitely able to go for a lot longer before my hand started to fatigue and kind of get worn out with those finer detailed, you know, jobs like feather stick making and notching and that type of stuff. So guys, as we wrap up this rating for the Ergonomics, I'm torn. I really am. For chopping and batoning and the heavier tasks that you would be doing with this knife that's very capable at 20 ounces and 1/4 inch thick, it's phenomenal. You never have to reset. Really, really good chopper and is going to do a lot of work for you, and the handle is going to feel great in that capacity. But when you're doing the more finer detailed work like carving, whittling, and doing notches and traps and that type of stuff, it isn't there. I mean, you can do it, you can get the job done, but it's not fun to do it, and you're really wishing that you had another knife after about 10 or 15 minutes to do the finer feather stick making and detail work, which is what a survival knife is. You know, it's there to do the bare minimums. This is not a bushcraft knife or something like that that you can carve for hours and hours on end. So I'm really torn with this, guys. I'm going to have to give it a rating of 3.5 on the Ergonomics scale. It's not horrible, but it's not phenomenal because it can't do everything very well. It can chop real well, but it can't do the carving and whittling, in my opinion, to the capability that I would have liked to see. All right, guys, I want to give you the quality rating here on the Anaconda 7B. And I got to tell you, as always, with every Tops knives that we've seen here, the quality is phenomenal. 5 out of 5. The fit and finish is fantastic. They do a great coating over there that's not really gritty and holds up very well. The edge was perfect when it arrived. No weird beveling or anything. The micarta handle scales line up perfectly. You got that real nice just overall setup with the knife itself. So the quality rating is always going to be phenomenal with everything that I've seen on Tops knives, and particularly with this Anaconda. 5 out of 5. No issues with the quality on this blade. All right, guys, I want to bring it inside here for not only a comparison we'll do in a second, but also give you the sheath rating for this knife. Now, if you've been watching the channel for any extended period of time, you know that I am not a fan at all of these Tops knives nylon sheaths, and that's what comes with this Anaconda. The reason for that is that I've had 2 of them break on me. The Kydex insert has broken and cracked on me over time. They come with MOLLE compatible, which is good. You know, big, large belt loop, that's always good. Got a little pocket with the little, you know, clip there. They give you some paracord and the whistle. That's all good. Not a huge issue, but like I said, I've had 2 of these plastic or, you know, Kydex inserts crack on me, and it's only Velcro. That's all they give you here are 2 Velcro, you know, snaps basically, or, you know, retention points. And I live in the Rocky Mountains, so snow gets on that Velcro right away and then makes the retention useless. The Velcro doesn't work. This is very loud. Lots of rattle, just not digging it. They do give you some, you know, paracord hole lashings, so you can run paracord and then wrap around the handle. That's doable, but I am just not a fan. So I'm going to give it the sheath rating 2 out of 5. Not impressed at all, as always, but there is a quick remedy that will definitely upgrade the sheath options on this blade right away. Let me show you. Again, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know this sheath. I have, I think, 2 or 3 of them, and I'm going to need to purchase some more. I love them so much, and they are so awesome. These are the Spec Ops brand. I'll have links in the description below, not only to Amazon, where you can purchase these for right around the $30 mark, as well as the review that we previously have done on this one. This is the 8-inch modular nylon sheath. It's a US-made sheath that is designed to hold a ton of different knives. So, of course, your Anaconda 7B, it's got a really nice Kydex insert in there that is bent slightly, so it gives really good retention. The knife is not going to fall out even with the snap. The snap is totally adjustable depending on the knife handle that you might be putting in here. Snaps into place right there. Real nice. Got a couple lashing points. You could put a little, you know, magazine pocket if you wanted to make a little survival kit with it. Got nice lashing points. And you got 2 tabs to put around your belt that have buttons, so you don't have to take your belt off, or you can run it through MOLLE. So this is a fantastic sheath and a huge upgrade over the one that comes with the Anaconda 7B, and I would highly recommend purchasing this as an upgrade immediately with your Anaconda 7B if you're considering purchasing this item, because it will be a huge upgrade and you'll be very pleased with that purchase. All right, guys, I got to give you the value rating here on this blade, and we'll talk through a couple other things in this shot. The first thing is the value. Now, you can pick this up for right around 150 bucks, depending on where you go, eBay, Amazon, KnifeWorks. I think I've seen it for 148 on KnifeWorks. Is the cheapest I've been able to find it. And the same is true for this Tops Dart, which I have down here. You can pick that up. I paid, again, I think it was 145, 148, something like that. So very similar in size, these two blades, both from Tops. And the value, I think, is definitely there. If you've ever owned a Tops knife, you know that the quality, not only in the blade steel, but the fit and finish, and just how they produce their knives is very good quality. So for $150, I think you're getting a lot of big bang for your buck, and definitely a lot better than a lot of other knives out there. And that's right in the same price range as a lot of other Tops knives themselves that are in this kind of same shape and size and dimensions. So for value, I don't see any issues. 5 out of 5 on the value for this Tops Anaconda. Well, everybody, we got to wrap up this review for you on the Anaconda 7B and really talk through my likability scale for this knife. Now, as we talked earlier in the video, when it came to the ergonomics, it was really painful for me to get more than about 5 minutes of carving, notching, or whittling of any kind done with this knife because of how large the handle is. How the blade performs itself and how the everything from the handle forward is phenomenal. I love it. But when it comes to those ergonomics, it's not fun for me. So for me, my likability scale is a 3.5, sadly. But as I started using it, now, and as we're out here doing it, Brian, I gave it to Brian. I'm like, hey, go use it. It's hurting my hands, man. And he began to take it out. And Brian, what do you think about the ergonomics with your extra large size hands?
For me, it's actually harder to find a good blade that actually the handle is larger. I wear an extra large to maybe a 2X size glove. And so it's very difficult for me. So in the size, you can just see the width of the hand, just the handle. It's just amazing. I mean, it fits my hand so well. And when Aaron let me start using it, I mean, it really, literally, for a larger blade, and of all the blades we use here at the boot camp, this is the one that I really like the most. Actually, right now, I had a SP53, and the handle was okay. But this handle, just the ergonomics, the shape, and also just the size around is amazing. So I love it. I think it's great.
So, if you got large size hands, medium or small, I'm going to tell you, you're not going to really enjoy using this Anaconda for more than about 5 minutes. When it comes to the finer stuff, for batoning and chopping, you're going to love it and there's no problem. But those more detailed tasks, not so much. But for Brian, what would be your likability scale with this Anaconda 7B?
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers.
So basically, yeah, so basically if you're Bigfoot and you got Vienna sausages for hands, then you're going to love the Anaconda 7B. If you have large, again, medium or small, probably going to want to look for something else purely because of the thickness on the ergonomics. So guys, I really hope that this video has helped you guys out with your purchasing decisions. As always, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Love to hear your guys' comments and what you think about the Anaconda 7B and its ergonomics. And follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and as always, remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.